Today, we delve into the compelling journey of Jamie Lee Curtis, a multifaceted actress and seasoned industry professional. As the daughter of Tony Curtis, she inherited not a fortune but a tapestry of complex and often dubious traits, shaping her unique path. Jamie's story of resilience and self-discovery weaves through her father's turbulent relationships and notorious lifestyle, illuminating the struggles she faced amid the glitz of Hollywood. Reflecting on her formative years, the belief that all stars hail from wealth misses the mark. For Tony Curtis, affluence was not always a given. Instead, his early life was marked by adversity, and that mindset inevitably influenced Jamie. Growing up amid shadows of her father's fame and faults required her to navigate turbulent waters, facing challenges that would forge her identity. Underneath the allure of Hollywood's golden years lies a narrative filled with grit, determination, and personal growth. As we sift through the layers of Jamie Lee Curtis's life, we uncover how the lessons learned from her father's legacy propelled her into becoming an inspiring figure in her own right. This exploration reveals a complex relationship with fame, legacy, and the inner strength that ultimately defines who she is. Born in Manhattan in 1924, Tony Curtis was originally named Bernard Schwartz. He spent his early years in a modest room alongside his family, who lived behind his father's tailor shop. The family often struggled financially, and there were times when they barely had enough money for food. This scarcity marked much of his childhood, highlighting a difficult upbringing. At one particularly low point, the financial strain was so severe that Tony and his siblings were placed in an orphanage for a month. This experience of hardship and instability shaped his outlook on life and would later influence his career choices. Despite these challenges, Tony's early experiences in New York City played a critical role in developing his passion for acting. He sought refuge in the artistic world, where he eventually thrived, leaving the hardships of his youth behind as he embarked on a successful acting career that would lead him to become a renowned figure in Hollywood. Tony Curtis faced numerous family tragedies that shaped his early life profoundly. When he was only 12 years old, he experienced the devastating loss of his brother, who was tragically run over by a vehicle. This sudden death left a deep scar on Tony's childhood and affected his view of the world. The impact of this loss was compounded later when he dealt with his mother's diagnosis of schizophrenia. The challenges of mental illness in his family did not stop there, as one of his siblings also inherited the same mental disorder. This sibling required institutionalization, highlighting the heavy toll that such tragedies can take on a family's dynamics. Growing up in this environment filled with loss and mental health struggles provided Tony Curtis with experiences that shaped not only his character, but also his understanding of the human condition. These experiences stayed with him throughout his life, influencing both his personal journey and his career as an actor. Growing up in Manhattan, Tony Curtis found himself entangled in a neighborhood gang that was involved in minor crimes. This world of youthful rebellion and mischief seemed to beckon him, shaping early experiences with an air of adventure, but also risk. However, a kind neighbor recognized the potential for danger in this lifestyle and took steps to steer him away from it. This neighbor arranged for Tony to attend a Boy Scout camp, a pivotal decision that would influence his future significantly. At the camp, he was introduced to a range of activities that promoted teamwork, leadership, and personal growth. It provided a structured environment where he could channel his youthful energies into positive outlets. The camp experience also allowed him to interact with peers who shared similar interests in outdoor activities and adventure. Over time, this exposure helped Tony develop skills and values that would shape his character and decisions later in life, effectively steering him away from the path of criminality. The time spent at Boy Scout camp became a foundational aspect of his upbringing, reflecting a turning point where he transitioned from the allure of gang life to the more constructive influences of friendship and mentorship. After obtaining a job driving a truck, Tony Curtis felt a strong sense that greater things awaited him. He realized that he wanted to pursue a different path, one that involved acting. This understanding motivated him to enroll in acting courses, where he began to hone his skills and develop his passion for performance. His dedication did not go unnoticed, and soon he was discovered by a talent agency that saw potential in him. This pivotal moment marked a significant turning point in his life. Embracing his new aspirations, he decided to change his name to Tony Curtis, a name that would soon become iconic in the world of film. With his new identity, he ventured to Hollywood, ready to chase his dreams. Once in Hollywood, he began his acting career with Universal Studios, landing roles that would eventually pave the way for his rise to stardom. The journey from a truck driver to a recognized actor illustrates his determination and ambition in an industry that can be both challenging and rewarding. Tony Curtis gained significant attention in Hollywood for his striking blue eyes, prominent lips, and an intriguing blend of feminine and masculine beauty. He dedicated much time and effort to his appearance, meticulously plucking his eyebrows to enhance his features. One of his notable contributions to the cinematic world was introducing the classic ducktail hairstyle. This iconic look had a lasting impact, influencing various stars of the time, including the legendary Elvis Presley. Curtis's unique appeal and dedication to his image set him apart from his contemporaries, allowing him to carve out a distinct identity in an era when physical presentation was paramount. His ability to balance charm and ruggedness captivated audiences, making him a sought-after leading man in numerous films throughout the 1950s and 1960s. The combination of his good looks and talent helped to establish his status as a Hollywood icon. In 1959, Tony Curtis found himself starring in the romantic comedy Some Like It Hot, alongside the iconic Marilyn Monroe. Their on-screen chemistry was undeniable, but it was their off-screen relationship that stirred much interest. Curtis claimed that he and Monroe had dated back in 1949, creating a history filled with both joyful and negative emotions. Their past romance was a blend of passion and complexity, which influenced their interactions while filming. Monroe was known for her magnetic presence, and Curtis, with his charm, made a perfect match for the film's comedic antics. Throughout their time together, Curtis experienced a spectrum of feelings. The pressures of fame and the challenges Monroe faced in her personal life added strain to their relationship, affecting their dynamic during the production. As they navigated the demands of Hollywood, the story of their connection added layers to the film, making it more than just a comedy, reflecting the realities of love and fame intertwined in an ever-shifting landscape. Their collaboration became legendary, leaving a lasting impression on audiences and solidifying both their places in cinematic history. Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh captured the hearts of Hollywood as a glamorous couple during a time when stars were larger than life. Their romance blossomed against the wishes of Universal International, the studio that preferred Tony to pair with another actress, Piper Laurie. This opposition only fueled the passion between Tony and Janet. They found ways to spark their relationship, despite the studio's interference, ultimately choosing to elope in Connecticut, a decision that signified their commitment to one another. Their marriage was not only a personal triumph, but also a professional boon. They appeared in films together, allowing their chemistry to shine on screen, which delighted audiences and critics alike. As they navigated the challenges of fame, their partnership became emblematic of love in Hollywood, showcasing a blend of talent and devotion that inspired many. The story of their love underscores the unpredictability of show business and the strength of personal bonds amid external pressures. Tony Curtis found a new path in his career by diving into comedy, which brought him notable success along with some memorable mishaps. One of the most famous incidents occurred in the 1952 film Son of Alibaba, where a slip of the tongue turned into a comedic goldmine. In a pivotal scene, Curtis attempted to deliver the line "Yonder lies the castle of my father." However, what came out instead was a humorous mispronunciation that sounded like Y and F. This moment not only left the crew and audience in stitches, but also became a part of film history, showcasing how even the most seasoned actors can have their flubs. Despite the ridicule that sometimes accompanied his comedic efforts, Curtis remained a cherished figure in Hollywood, known for his charm and ability to make audiences laugh. This transition to comedy highlighted not only his versatility as an actor, but also the light-hearted side of filmmaking, where laughter often outweighs perfection. Each role he took on added to the richness of his career, blending humor with the challenges of the film industry and creating lasting memories for fans around the world. As Tony Curtis welcomed his daughters into the world, his family life began to flourish in ways he had never imagined. The birth of his first daughter, Kelly Curtis, in June 1956, marked a significant milestone for him and his then-wife, Janet Leigh. It wasn't just the arrival of a new baby, it transformed Tony's routine and reshaped his understanding of love and responsibility. Parenthood introduced him to a deeper emotional spectrum, requiring him to balance the demands of his burgeoning film career with the joys and challenges of raising a child. Then, as if to deepen and enrich that transformation even further, Jamie Lee Curtis arrived in November 1958. With two daughters now in the picture, Tony's role as a father became even more pronounced. He juggled his career in Hollywood while striving to create a warm and nurturing environment at home. His experiences as a father left an indelible mark on him, influencing his personal values and perceptions of family. The love he felt for Kelly and Jamie Lee helped him navigate the complexities of his dual life as a glamorous leading man and a dedicated parent. These relationships grounded him and provided a sense of purpose that transcended his professional ambitions, highlighting the incredible influence of family in shaping who he was as a person. Securing a leading role in Some Like It Hot marked a significant moment in Tony Curtis's acting career. He played the character of Josephine, a transvestite who, along with his friend Jerry, portrayed by Jack Lemmon, is on the run from mobsters. The film, released in 1959, is celebrated as one of the greatest comedies of all time, and remains iconic due to its witty script, memorable performances, and daring themes for its era. Despite the remarkable success of the film, there was behind-the-scenes turmoil, particularly involving the famous co-star Marilyn Monroe. Curtis often defended Monroe against rumors of tension on set, acknowledging her struggles and unique approach to acting. Their collaboration was filled with challenges, but Curtis later spoke fondly of Monroe, recognizing her talent and the difficulties she faced. His performance as Josephine not only showcased his versatility as an actor, but is also remembered as a groundbreaking portrayal that pushed societal norms regarding gender and identity. The role cemented Curtis's legacy in film history as a talented and daring performer willing to take on complex characters. Despite being married to Janet Leigh, Tony Curtis continued to engage in infidelity, openly enjoying the company of other women. His frequent visits to the Playboy Mansion became a regular part of his life, where he mingled with glamorous women and lived a lifestyle that many would find hard to resist. Among his romantic entanglements were notable actresses such as Natalie Wood and Gloria DeHaven, which added to the whirlwind of his private life. At the same time, Curtis often directed accusations of infidelity at Janet Leigh, suggesting that she had been unfaithful, particularly implicating Frank Sinatra. This cyclical pattern of accusations and cheating created a tumultuous relationship that was fraught with jealousy. As Curtis pursued his own desires, he seemed to overlook the emotional toll this behavior had on their marriage. The contradictions of love and betrayal intertwined in Curtis's life, leaving a complex legacy that highlighted the challenges of fame and relationship dynamics. One of the notable aspects of the film Spartacus is the relationship between the characters portrayed by Tony Curtis and Laurence Olivier. Tony Curtis fought passionately to include a controversial scene that shed light on the emotional complexities between them. This scene, which was intended to explore deeper themes of love and betrayal, faced significant resistance due to the sensitivities of the time. Ultimately, this pivotal moment was shot without sound, a decision that reflected the prevailing attitudes towards such subjects in 1960. Despite its initial limitations, this scene gained new life when it was restored decades later, significantly impacting the landscape of LGBTQ cinema. It became a landmark moment, celebrated for its boldness and thoughtfulness, pushing the boundaries of what could be depicted on screen. This act of courage contributed to a greater understanding of LGBTQ narratives in film. It stands as a testament to Curtis's commitment to his craft and the evolution of cinema in addressing complex human relationships. Tony Curtis faced challenges in his personal life, particularly regarding his marriage to actress Janet Leigh. Their union ended in 1962, driven largely by Curtis's jealousy and infidelity. These issues contributed to an emotional strain that ultimately fractured their relationship. Following this dissolution, he quickly remarried Christine Kaufman, whom he had met while working on the film Taras Bulba. The connection between them blossomed despite a notable 21-year age difference, which drew attention in Hollywood circles. This second marriage was a significant shift for Curtis, who sought solace and companionship after the tumultuous end of his first marriage. Their relationship demonstrated Curtis's desire to find love once again, even amidst the challenges that fame and past failures presented. This pattern of love and loss highlighted the complexities of Curtis's life as he navigated the world of cinema while grappling with personal struggles. During his second marriage, Tony Curtis faced significant challenges in his career, leading to a noticeable decline. The 1960s were marked by a series of unsuccessful comedies, which failed to resonate with audiences and critics alike. This period saw a shift in public perception as well, with disapproval surrounding his personal life choices becoming more pronounced. His turbulent marriage and the ensuing media scrutiny affected not only his private life, but also his professional opportunities. As a result, Curtis recognized the need for a career pivot. In search of a more serious role that could help restore his standing in Hollywood, he took on the part of Albert DeSalvo in the 1968 film The Boston Strangler. This role marked a significant change in his approach to acting, allowing him to move away from lighthearted fare and embrace more complex, darker characters. The film provided a fresh perspective, showcasing Curtis's versatility and depth as an actor, setting the stage for his later work and reflections on his tumultuous journey through fame and personal trials. During his third marriage to Leslie Allen, Tony Curtis struggled with heroin addiction. This period in his life was marked by a professional decline that affected both his career and personal relationships. Curtis and Allen, who had 2 children together, found their marriage increasingly strained as his addiction took hold. The pressures and challenges that came with substance abuse deeply impacted their family life, leading to a cascade of difficulties in both his personal and professional spheres. As his addiction worsened, Curtis faced the inevitable consequences that come with such a struggle, including emotional turmoil and interpersonal conflicts. This ultimately resulted in their divorce, as the couple could no longer sustain their relationship amidst the chaos of addiction. Recognizing the need for help, Curtis checked into the Betty Ford Clinic for rehabilitation. This decision marked a significant step in his journey towards recovery and managing his addiction, reshaping his life moving forward. Continuing on his journey through relationships, Tony Curtis consistently gravitated towards marrying younger women. 2 notable names in this chapter of his life are Andrea Savio and Lisa Deutsch. His marriage to Savio reflected this trend, as it was marked by a significant age difference. However, like many of his relationships, it eventually ended in divorce. The relationship with Lisa Deutsch was particularly brief, lasting only 18 months, making it the shortest of his unions. Despite the many ups and downs that came with his multiple marriages, this preference for younger brides became a prominent pattern in Curtis's life. It seemed he sought out relationships that not only brought him companionship, but also maintained a youthful vibe. Each marriage showcased a different part of his evolving story, but the underlying theme remained consistent. His choices in partners sparked conversations about love, age, and the dynamics of relationships in Hollywood, revealing much about the man behind the iconic roles he played. The tragic death of Tony Curtis's son, Nicholas Allen, profoundly affected his life. Nicholas died from a heroin overdose at the tender age of 23 in 1994. Tony described this loss as the most painful event of his life. As a father, he experienced grief and heartache that never fully healed. The shadow of addiction loomed over his family, deeply impacting their dynamics. Jamie Lee Curtis, Tony's daughter, shared that she and her father exchanged illicit narcotics during her youth, which contributed to her own 10-year struggle with addiction. This open exchange highlighted a troubling aspect of their relationship, revealing how Tony, despite his fame, struggled to provide a positive role model for his children. Jamie's battle with addiction illustrated the darker side of their lives, showcasing the repercussions of living in an environment where the lines between familial bonds and unhealthy behaviors blurred. The complexities of their relationship were marred by the pain of loss and the lasting impact of addiction, shaping their lives in ways they had to confront for years. In 1998, Tony Curtis married his 6th and final wife, Jill Vandenberg. Their love story was marked by a deep affection for horses, which brought them even closer together. They shared a desire to create a sanctuary for mistreated animals, showcasing their compassion and dedication to helping those in need. The couple's life together was filled with joy and an apparent happiness that stood out, especially considering the 46-year age gap between them. Despite this difference in age, they seemed to complement each other beautifully, each bringing unique experiences to their relationship. Their joint venture in establishing an animal haven highlighted their commitment not only to each other, but also to the welfare of animals. They worked hand in hand, illustrating a partnership that went beyond their personal lives and made a tangible difference in the world around them. Their shared passion became a significant aspect of their marriage, demonstrating how love can thrive in unexpected ways. After Tony Curtis's death in 2010, his amended will became a source of significant controversy. The will notably disinherited his family, leaving them with nothing. Instead, it bequeathed his entire estate to Jill Vandenberg, his wife at the time of his passing. This unexpected decision led to intense legal battles among family members, who raised accusations of undue influence over Tony in the drafting of the new will. They argued that Jill had manipulated him into making changes that favored her interests. As these disputes unfolded, Jill took the opportunity to auction off many of Tony's personal belongings. This included cherished items such as personal letters, film memorabilia, and other artifacts of his storied career. The public nature of these auctions and the familial rifts created a media spectacle, shifting the narrative from celebrating Curtis's legacy as a beloved actor to grappling with the fallout from his posthumous arrangements. The situation showcased the complexities and sometimes bitter realities surrounding estate disputes, especially when significant wealth is involved. At a party, actress Kim Novak accused Tony Curtis of spiking her drink, which led to her blacking out. She recounted waking up naked with no memory of how she got there. This incident added to the controversial aspects of Curtis's legacy and raised questions about his behavior in social settings. During a later interview in 2009, Curtis confessed that he had an affair with Marilyn Monroe while filming Some Like It Hot. He revealed that Monroe had become pregnant with his child, but tragically miscarried. This revelation shocked many, considering Curtis was already known for his numerous romantic escapades. The combination of these events paints a complex picture of Curtis, intertwining moments of charm and scandal. Novak's accusation casts a shadow on his character, while his confession about Monroe shows a more vulnerable side to his relationships. These narratives remain significant in understanding the legacy of Tony Curtis and his interactions with some of Hollywood's most iconic figures. His last film appearance was in the 2008 drama David and Fatima, where he played a character named Mr. Schwartz. This role was particularly meaningful as it tied back to his real surname, Curtis, which was actually the stage name he adopted early in his career. The choice of this character allowed Tony Curtis to reconnect with his roots in a heartfelt way. The film itself explored themes of love and acceptance, showcasing the struggles between traditional values and the desire for personal happiness. Although it was not a blockbuster, David and Fatima provided a fitting end to his illustrious career. In a storied journey that began in the 1940s, Curtis became a household name, known for his charisma and versatility. His performances in classic films helped to define an era in Hollywood. In David and Fatima, he brought his unique energy to the screen one last time, reminding audiences of the talent that had captured hearts for decades. His legacy rests on a rich tapestry of performances that continue to inspire new generations of